Then I would like you to state your name and who you are for the camera.
So I'm Akinbode, Akinbiyi. I was born in Britain, but I'm from Nigeria. My parents were Nigerians, studying at the time in England, in Oxford. I'm a photographer, so I'm an artist, photographer, curator, and a writer. What else would you like to know?
I would like to know a little bit about your background with education.
Originally, actually, I studied at the university in Nigeria first, and I wanted to become a teacher at the university, so a lecturer.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
at what department?
I studied English, linguistic, German, English literature. And then I came to Germany to continue my studies, to Heidelberg, and photography was a hobby. And then it became a passion, and my vocation is I still do it today. I still write and read, of course, but photography is my main source of living, but also of my the meaning of my life. Okay, so around the 90s, I started also giving workshops and talks to younger colleagues. Initially, actually in Berlin, where I was living, doing workshops with school children to somehow open them up away from having funny ideas about foreigners, about Africans, about black people, and so on. And then these kind of workshops continued on the African continent, in Nigeria, in Ethiopia. I've done some in South Africa, in Sudan, Mali, Senegal, so many different parts of Africa, and I really enjoy doing this. But this is primarily on photography, not teaching the bare rudiments, but more theoretical, how one negotiates one's life with photography, what you want to photograph, how you want to photograph it, and so on and so forth. But not how to use a camera, not like that.
And this is something that you also taught yourself, right? You don't have a formal training.
No, I didn't actually go to school to learn photography or photography theory. I'm autodidact. I learned it myself.
And then you come back to the children as a role model for...
I don't like the word role model so much, or I just it's a kind of what you learn, what you take in, you give back again. Then you learn more. It's very, very important. The more you give out, the more you get back.
Don't you think that you could be considered a role model because you are successful with a medium that you completely taught yourself, that you found your own entrance to, that you had no formal training with? And I find this very inspiring. I find also just like my personal opinion, when I meet musicians, because I'm really into music, those who just at one point picked up a guitar or picked up the drumsticks and just started doing it are the ones that I find the most inspiring.
I understand you, and I tend to agree with you. The thing is, though, I think you learn from what you've done already. So I'd already studied English literature, and then you bring that knowledge, that body of knowledge, into whatever else you do. And life is not in compartments, it's all together. And it's very much a learning process. That's why I like the title of this documentary, Learning from Athens. We're constantly learning. And once you realize this, what you take in, you give back again. Because if you keep it to yourself, it becomes, like you become some kind of eccentric. But if you give it out, a lot of things happen, a lot of pleasure. Mm-hmm.
You already mentioned the title, Learning from Athens. And since you and your camera are looking very closely at places, at locales, at how these spaces are navigated by people, how they are owned by people, what did you learn from Kassel and Athens?
They're two very different localities. Athens is much, much bigger, many more people. It's a million, I think 5-6 million people, inhabitants. Kassel is just over 200,000. Athens is much more complex and has a very, very long history. So too does Kassel, but different type of history. And Athens is layered. it has all this, the former Greek deities and legends and myths, and then you have the different conflicts over the centuries up till today with this now economic recession and the wave of migrants coming through, and Greece has gone through very difficult times in the last 2, 3, 4 years. Kassel also has been through very, very difficult times over the centuries, especially the Second World War, when the inner city was, very badly damaged. And you can, depending on you, I find you can still feel these things. So what I try to do is I wander. That is my main way of working. I wander the cities, the localities, and try and take in these currents, these tensions and currents and passageways. And I photograph. I photograph very much in a kind of non-linear, abstract way. So I'm not looking for things in your face, but more the undercurrents. So this sometimes takes time. And Athens, in some ways, is for me more visually, and as a wanderer, more visually exciting. But Kassel too. But Kassel, because it's a provincial town, and also relatively small, you really have to dig in. You have to dig in deep. So yesterday I was in the city part called Nord, in the Hauptfriedhof, the main cemetery, and it's big. I was surprised. And I was wandering, and then I found area where they've buried the people who died in the bomb of 1943.
It's like a memorial site.
Yeah, and this was very interesting. There's some kind of undercurrents there, So you wander around, and then you find certain small details, which I find sometimes very interesting. I hope I can incorporate one of these images in the exhibition coming, things like that. But it's like a dance, because sometimes the dance goes very well, and then you get some good images. Other times I wander for hours, nothing. So it's a give and take all the time. In Athens, it was different again. I'm going back to Athens. I've just been there once. And Athens is it's a more complex, bigger, but also very exciting. Everywhere I go, once you dig in, you get into these undercurrents, these layers, and it gets very, very exciting. And then you see correlations and things happening at the same time. By the way, I'm also working in Nigeria too, in an area which is called, a city which is called Osogbo, where my people, the Yoruba, have an annual festival for a river deity, Osun. And this deity, Osun, you will probably find they have similar deities here in the Germanic region, or in Greece as well. So I try to show the similarities visually in photographs. It's not always easy, but the more you wander, the more you see, the more you learn, and the more you are graced to come to certain images. But it takes time, as I always say.
According to you, what could an education for Documenta 14 be?
I think for those coming, for the visitors, and especially for the younger, school groups and groups of younger people or young adults, I think it's very good for them to really engage with artworks. Not all the artworks, too much, but some. And almost sometimes, what could be very interesting is if the artist could be really back, come back to give talks and lectures. And also, many times it takes time, again, this time factor, to understand what the artist was trying to get across. So this what we're doing now, these video interviews are very good. It gives an opportunity also for the visitors to understand more, but also it's a give and take. The more the visitor understands, the more he goes back home, thinks about it, grows, and we too, as artists, the makers, we too grow as well. So it's always this kind of like you were mentioning before about music. It's about playing the music. We listen, and then we get it, and then we start. Yeah, that's very good.
Do you have any questions for me?
Not really. Definitely not.
Okay, that's fine. Almost nobody does. It's okay. Dan, thank you for taking your time.
Thank you
to
too.
with me.
Thank you too. Thank you.